man is back.
Oh, okay, Jontay, boys, oh my gosh, the man got that stuff. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have the leopard. Jontay is true. Jontay, my God. Oh, look at that, my God.
This is your boy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash True Inferno. Back at it with another Call of Duty Black Ops 6 commentary video gameplay for you guys. Now, I'm going to try my hardest for this video to be my last Call of Duty Black Ops 6 commentary gameplay video for you guys because Black Ops 7 is out. I do got Black Ops 7. I haven't played it yet, but I will be playing it probably this weekend and try to get some footage for next week's video, which would be the first video of Call of Duty Black Ops 7 commentary video gameplay for you guys. So there you go with that. Now, you're probably wondering where have I been over the course of the past few weeks. Where my internet have been going in and out, and there was some other videos that I needed to work on. So it was like, you know what? I'm going to put these videos on hold for the time being and focus on other stuff and then deal with this internet fiasco, which is still going on, by the way. But it's not as bad as it once was, but I think I will switch internet providers because this has been getting ridiculous to the point where I can't even live stream on the Pupper website, or I don't feel comfortable live streaming on the Pupper website. So there you go with that. Now, let's get back on the meat of this video, and that unfortunately I got to talk about this, and that would be the whole NBA gambling situation. So this is based off of The Athletic. So this is the nytimes.com/athletic. So if you want to look this up, the title of this video, this article rather, is called "The NBA Players, Coaches, and Gamblers at the Center of a Federal Betting Investigation." And this article was written by 2 people, believe it or not, and it came out yesterday, which was November the 25th at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. So check this out. If there is a single takeaway from the ongoing NBA betting scandal, which is laid out in a painstaking detail below through court documents, it is this. Prosecutors said it's all connected. The whole thing. The alleged insider trading and rigged poker games, the NBA players, current and former, and coaches, the gamblers, the accusations made of them are all linked either directly or through a rare reminiscent of an old court board in an FBI warehouse covered in headshots with strings. So backtracking to October the 23rd, FBI Director Cass Patel and U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, Joseph Keller Jr., announced that 34 people were charged in separate illegal gambling schemes involving NBA personnel. Almost all of them have been arraigned and pleaded not guilty. The one exception, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, who is set to be arraigned in December, has denied the charges through his attorney. In the week since those indictments were unveiled, The Athletic has scoured them and other government evidence searching for deeper connections between the 2 cases. They exist, according to the federal investigation. So, check this out. Some of the organizers of the alleged rigged poker games who recruited or worked with Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones are the same people accused of manipulating NBA personnel or conspiring with them to use insider information for placing illegal bets. One of the alleged masterminds of the poker games is a Gambino crime family associate who also reportedly turned Jontay Porter into a conspirator through pressure over a gambling debt. A gambler who allegedly arranged teams of bettors to place bets on the inside information from at least 3 NBA teams is also accused of providing some of the technology used to rig the poker games. Now, they actually have pictures of this, but I'm going to read this off anyway. Below is the web of these connections, showing how the federal government believes the 4 known NBA players and coaches accused of crimes, Billups, Jones, Porter, and Terry Rozier, are connected to gamblers who allegedly placed the illegal bets and also allegedly rigged the card games. So they presented a diagram. I'm going to have the link to the article in the description box below. So if you want to see the diagram, you can. But basically, it's some crazy stuff. It's some crazy stuff. So I'm going to point out some of the things that I see. So apparently, there's also a 5th NBA player involved who they call in player 2. So I'm wondering who's player 1, but I don't know. I guess Terry Rozier is player 1 since he's the only one who was active in the league when all this went down. Porter has been caught going back to 04 and is banned for life. So it's not him. So I'm assuming Terry Rozier is player 1 and player 2, somebody who is still in the league as we speak. Now, they also talked about CC. I don't know what CC means, but I guess we'll get more of that info. So Rozier have some type of connection with CC6. Oh, co-conspirator, right in front of my face, Doug. So co-conspirator 6 is a family member of Rozier. And then in terms of Jones and Billups, Stroud allegedly started rigging poker games and recruited Jones and Billups. And in terms of Porter, Porter sold leads to make good on gambling debts with Fam and who is this? Arade, who is allegedly an associate of the Gambino crime family. So there you go with that. And also Billups have some type of connection with Henny, who is allegedly mobilized proxy bets with friends and family. So there's that. And that's pretty much it there. Now, moving on with the article. Below is a diagram of how the alleged scheme involving Rozier, who is accused of removing himself from a game as a member of the Charlotte Hornets, so he and a cabal of gamblers could win money off illegal bets, unfolded between him, his friend, and his friend's gambling associates, according to prosecutors. So check this out. At the top, we got Terry Rozier. Allegedly told Laster he would take himself out early. So Laster as in De Niro Laster. So, and of course, he also told co-conspirator number 6 who bet $800. Now, Laster is allegedly sold Rozier's tip to co-conspirator 1 for $100,000. Also, co-conspirator 7, who is a family member of Laster, bet $7,000. And apparently, he has some connection with Marvez Fairley or Vez Vezino Locks. And he has a connection with Shane Hennon, who is accused of enlisting proxy bettors to leverage the Rozier tip, bet $61,200. And then from him, we got co-conspirator 5, who bet $12,500. Co-conspirator 4, who bet $17,000. Co-conspirator 3, who bet $20,000. Co-conspirator 2, who bet $107,000. Timothy McCormack and Longfield Fam, who bet $41,000. Moving on with the article. Next, a refresher on the 4 names you know if you've been following the scandal at all. The 4 NBA players and coaches charged in the betting schemes. Attorneys for Rozier and Billups have denied the charges. Jones pleaded not guilty at an initial arraignment earlier this month. Porter pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud in July 2024. So speaking of which, let's talk about Porter real quick. Jontay Porter, who last seen was playing for the Toronto Raptors. He owed large gambling debts and agreed to remove himself from 2 NBA games early by claiming an injury or ailment so that the men could profit from betting involving him, according to federal and league investigations. One man bet $80,000 on a parlay tied to Porter and won $1.1 million. The NBA also found that Porter bet on NBA games, a violation of league rules. He was expelled from the league and now faces prison time. So there you go with that. Next up, Chauncey Billups. And by the way, Jontay Porter was charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Chauncey Billups, who was the Portland Trail Blazers head coach, and of course, this one hits home because he did play for the Detroit Pistons. We won the NBA championship back in 2004. He was Finals MVP. So he was a keystone for those Pistons. That Pistons won when they had Billups, Rasheed, Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun, and Larry Brown as the head coach. But check this out. Billups is accused of joining a rigged poker game in Vegas in 2019, acting as a face card to draw in high-stakes players and sharing in the winnings. Prosecutors said texts from that night showed him collaborating with the organizers. They also allege he received $50,000 for a second rigged game in 2020. Additionally, co-conspirator 8 in a separate federal sports betting case fits the description of Billups. Okay. In that indictment, co-conspirator 8 is accused of providing a gambler, the same gambler Billups agreed or allegedly partnered with in the alleged poker scheme, with private Blazer lineup information. Interesting. Now, this one is really interesting right here. Damon Jones, who is a former player, he played for Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't remember who else he played for. I remember he played for Cleveland. But more importantly than that, which means not only was he LeBron's teammate, but more importantly than that, he was also LeBron James' personal coach. He's charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 2 counts of conspiracy to commit money laundering. Jones is accused of using his access to the Lakers as LeBron James' shooting assistant to sell private injury information to bettors. Prosecutors also said he took part in a rigged poker game in Las Vegas in 2019 as a face card meant to draw high-stake players, with Billups and the gambler to whom Jones gave player information on the Lakers. Jones is further accused of joining another rigged game in September 2023 in the Hamptons, where he texted organizers asking to be included. One defendant sent him $2,500 the next day. So basically, this dude was selling information about LeBron James, who's supposed to be one of LeBron's closest friends, selling information about LeBron James. That's crazy. And then we got Terry Rozier, who is charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Rozier is accused of telling his close friend he will remove himself early from a game so they and others could win money on bets placed against Rozier's statistics while he was a member of the Charlotte Hornets. The bettors include at least one of Rozier's family members who frequently bet on Rozier and lost until this particular day. Okay, so there you go with that. Next are the gamblers who allegedly organized the two schemes, one to defraud wealthy card players in illegal poker games and the other to place illegal bets on information gleaned from NBA players and coaches. Their alleged participation in one or both schemes and their reported connections to the others are spelled out below. All have pleaded not guilty at November's arrangement, by the way. So we got Marvez Fairley, aka Vizino Locks, charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Farley, who sells sports betting picks online, is alleged to be the one who spread Rozier's information from Leicester to multiple bettors, including to Hanen. He also allegedly paid for the Blazers information and Lakers information to place bets. Fairley and co-conspirator number one bet and won from the information co-conspirator one was given by an Orlando Magic player about the team's plans to tank. So that's player number two in terms of that Orlando Magic player. So that's interesting. Shane Henning, aka Sugar, charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, 2 counts of conspiracy to commit money laundering, and conspiracy to commit bribery. Henning, who sells sports picks online, have an extensive criminal background with past charges of disorderly conduct, illegal gambling devices, a bomb charge, and drug charges. He is accused of placing illegal bets and organizing teams of proxy bettors to do the same. From information allegedly provided to gamblers by Rozier, Jones, Porter, and co-conspirator number 8, who fits Billups' profile. Henny is also accused of organizing, participating in, and supplying cheating technology for rigged poker games. Next up, Eric Ernest. And how many? Okay, there's not that many, but there's more to talk about. But let's get back to Eric, aka Spook. Charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 2 counts of conspiracy to commit money laundering. Ernest has ties to the Black Mafia family, to the R&B and hip-hop scene near his hometown, and has a spate of prior felon convictions. He is linked to Billups in both federal cases, allegedly playing in the same Las Vegas rigged poker game and selling the information co-conspirator number 8 gave him about the Blazers. He was released from federal prison 2 months before joining Billups in the alleged rigged poker game. And then we got Amar Awade, Flappy, aka Flappy Poker, charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, 2 counts of conspiracy to commit money laundering, 2 counts of Hobbs Act conspiracy, to commit robbery, and 1 account of operating an illegal gambling business. So I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. Flappy is an alleged associate of the Gambino crime family and is accused of organizing. That's not proper grammar, but okay. He is accused of organizing one of the rigged games in New York. He also is accused of playing in the rigged games in a 2023 text message from another defendant. Flappy is compared to Steph Curry for how good he was at it. Oh my gosh. He also, according to the feds, was owed a lot of money by Jontay Porter and used the debt as leverage to coerce him into removing himself from games so bettors could gamble against his prop bets. And then we got Robert Stroud, aka Black Rob, charged with conspiracy to commit money laundering and conspiracy to commit robbery. Stroud, who has a long criminal history, including a conviction of reckless homicide in 1997, is accused of orchestrating the rigged poker games by using wireless tech. Prosecutors called him the leader of the conspiracy. He allegedly recruited the 2 NBA players to act as face cards for the red poker games, according to complete federal documents to the original indictment. It was one of the people who brought in the potential victims, aka the rails or fish. Now, the final groups is more mixed in terms of how intricately, how you pronounce that word, INTRICATELY, I probably butchered that word, but whatever, involved each person is alleged to be, with some other accused of being part of either the sports betting scheme or the poker games. All the individuals in this group named in the charging documents have pleaded not guilty. So we got De Niro Laster, Nero Peso, charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. So Laster, a former football player at Kentucky and Rozier's close friend growing up on Cleveland's east side, allegedly sold Rozier's plan to remove himself from a game for betting purposes, to Farley, in co-conspirator number 1, who is a former NBA player. He is accused of collecting winnings from bets placed against Rozier, driving them to Rozier's house in North Carolina, and sharing the money with Rozier. Which brings us to co-conspirator number 1, former NBA player, team is unknown. His identity is known to the feds, but not to the public yet. And his existence is perhaps the ominous answer to the question, how widespread is this? A former NBA player with a relationship with one of the Magic starters, he is also allegedly tied directly to gamblers and placed bets against Rozier, the Blazers, Lakers, and Magic. Interesting. Which brings us to Player 2, an Orlando Magic player. Player 2 allegedly told co-conspirator number 1 that the Magic would sit all its starters in a game on April 6, 2023 against Cleveland, hours before the information was made public. The Magic say this player is no longer on the roster. That's interesting. And then we got Tim McCormack, charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. So Tim is a proxy bettor working in conjunction with the larger figures more central to the case. And then we got Long Film Fam, who is charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Fam is a proxy bettor in the alleged scheme with access to at least one NBA player. He also tries to flee the U.S. when the jig was up. Who remember that saying? But moving on. It was caught at JFK Airport, which is in New York, by the way, with a one-way ticket to Australia in hand. And then we got Mahmoud Molla, who is charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Mahaz Betty may have brought the whole scheme down. Wow. So he's pretty much the heel, or the one that messed this up, apparently. He played so many rages against Porter when Porter removed himself from the March 20th, 2024 game that the sports books suspended his account and flagged the bets as suspicious. Wow. The two cases are now slowly working their way through the federal court system. The Justice Department has announced separate investigations into illegal gambling in professional baseball and college basketball as well. The NBA is continuing its own investigation into the alleged illegal gambling. The Athletics reported last week that the league has asked multiple teams, including the Lakers, to hand over documents and other property as part of its investigation into illegal sports gambling. So, my thing is this. Everybody else with the Cesar Billups, I really could care less about. I'll be perfectly honest. If they are guilty of the crime, yeah, they need to do the time. Bars, by the way. If they're not guilty, then they should be free. It's that simple. But I'm like, gun damn, Chauncey, what the heck? I'm not saying Chauncey is guilty because I don't know. But the fact that when I first saw the news and he was involved with it, I was like, gun damn, Chauncey, what the heck? That's some crazy stuff right there. And like, I was like dumbfounded to hear the news. So I don't know, like the fact that they got a lot of detailed information here in terms of, oh, this person is associated with that person, who is associated with that person, who got the information from that person, stuff like that. It's like, it's too detailed. Again, like, I don't know if any of these guys are guilty or not, but dog, this is too detailed to say, no, there's no way that they're innocent. Like, no. Like, it's too detailed. So, I don't know, man. It's not looking good for any of these guys. Obviously, all of them saying they're not guilty. Obviously, Billups is taking this to court. I've seen news reports about that one, but it's not looking good for any of them. It's really not looking good for any of them, man. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to call it a wrap. So with all that said, y'all know this is boy New Jack Aspie, a.k.a. New Stephen A. Smith. saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.